Well, hello, and welcome to 5 Good Minutes with William Jackson. Today, what we're going to talk about is on the HSD F86 120mm EDF jet. We're doing rivets. We're just using the existing panel lines that come with the plane. We're just trying to accent them so that the plane just stands out a little bit more on the flight line against any other plane. So today we've started some rivets and we're using a Dremel tool. Now, here's a disclaimer. I have tried every tool in America to do rivets. So you can't tell me or ask me why don't I use something else. I use what I like and what I'm familiar with and what works for me. So you use what you want to do. So I use this Dremel tool and I strap it to my hand. That way I'm just acting like a drill press. Let the weight of the Dremel do this. My bit is a brass tube that I've cut at a 45-degree angle. And every now and then I keep sharpening it, especially if you if you're going through a lot of plastic. If I was doing a lot of plastic models, I'd probably be sharpening this more often. So, I'm using this like a Dremel tool. I can lightly hold it, and I'm just basically dropping my arm down. I tend to use my finger as a guide when I've got this on. One of my fingers is like here, and I'm just basically just dropping it in the hole, you know. So that's how I'm doing that. You get that kind of in a grip where you feel like it's been moving a little bit. Because I've been taking some breaks. Yeah, so you get that. The big thing you want to make sure is that you're going straight up and down and not at an angle. So put my drill bit on high and where are we at on here? Let me try and pick a spot that we have already done. All right. Well, all right. We'll do this right here. Hopefully you guys can see this. Let me double check, make sure you guys can see this. Yeah, you can see. All right, so what I tend to do when I'm getting in boxes, I always do the corners first, and then I can just kind of adjust as I go to make sure I meet that corner hole. Okay, now let me give you another disclaimer. Usually when I'm doing this, I either have a movie going or some music. 9 times out of 10, it's probably a movie going on, and I'm listening to some murder mystery or Sherlock Holmes or something like that in the background. Or if it's football season, maybe a football game. But most of the time, it's a movie. So that kind of helps me get into a rhythm. I got my mind active. And this is very therapeutic for me, getting into a rhythm. And I really enjoy it, is why I do it. If I didn't like this, I wouldn't do this. I would use all those other tools that you guys have sent me or I have purchased in the past to do this to make it faster. But there's nothing more therapeutic than doing this. This wing has got Mem-Wax coated on it. First, that's probably why you hear the sound of the drill bit, because it's cutting the Mem-Wax first before it gets into the foam. And how I do straight lines, these thin tapes that you get at the body shop, automotive shop, I use this to be my guide to do straight line, long lines, because there's no, I'm just following these panel lines here, but here in this open space, you're going to need something to follow. So I usually use one of these tapes to be my guide for the long. Now I'm saving this for last because those will be my long ones, and I better have some movie on for this. Usually a 35, 45 minute. There's also, I use these old time radio shows. Old time radio on YouTube, just get one of those on, listen to some sci-fi show or space or some murder mystery series, that kind of stuff. That keeps my mind active on that. So basically that's how I do my panel lines, and well, not panel lines, because on this plane I am not doing panel lines. This is just to get this plane looking better than what it was before I've got it. Now, while we got the camera rolling, and we're probably at the end of our long before our 5 minutes, this is what we've done on the body. Okay, so far. On the rudder, elevator. Okay, and my other, if you followed me on why these are looking a little bit darker, is I always use graphite crushed up with a brush, and I dust them into the panel lines and the rivets, and then I'll come back with a vacuum cleaner and vacuum off the excess, and it'll still leave that weathered line there. Then I come back with some Windex on a cloth, and I'll wipe the rest of the weathering dust off, because if you don't, this will look like it's weathered. This plane's a show plane, so it's not going to get that weathered look. Okay? All right. Well, thanks for stopping by, everybody, for 5 good minutes with William Jackson. We'll see you later.